Alright guys, I just finished riding CFMOTO 800MTX for like 3 days. There is the bike over there if you can see it. I'm gonna get back on my Transalp. I'm gonna tell you honestly what do I feel and what I see as a difference. So from the get-go, much lower seat height obviously. Feels much more accessible, lower, more like a touring bike than like a adventure bike. Let's see this bike one more time. On the CFMOTO I felt like the shifter is more tactile or more precise in some way. Here it feels like it's softer. The gear pull, the lever feels much softer over here. Over there it's basically normal. Like Honda is a bit in front in terms of the lightness of the lever pull, but over here it's definitely noticeable to be lighter. This engine produces different noise, and if I go like this lower speed, I don't know, it feels like it's more pronounced on the CFMOTO, whereas this one opens the sound when you reach 5,000 to 6,000 RPMs. Also, that bike felt during the ride a little bit less nervous, I would say. Maybe a little bit less vibes, some small vibes. Whereas this bike, even on lower or higher RPMs, tends to produce more vibes, the more RPMs you reach, of course. The agility over here is much more pronounced. Like that bike, CFMOTO, feels like you're more on a cross, like full hard enduro, and the front feels like you're really on a 21 inch. Over here we have 21 inch, but still it feels like it's 19 or even less somehow. I don't know, like this bike is amazing on the agility. It feels like you're on a naked bike. The sitting position over there, I sit even higher, taller, and I feel like I'm even more upright somehow. Like maybe the handlebar is even closer to me, and the handlebar has this swipe towards outwards, so my arms are really like on the Yamaha Tenere, so really straight like this, not bent like this. Here is like more on a touring bike. The acceleration, somehow I feel like it's very similar. Maybe CFMOTO has slightly stronger acceleration from below, but that's barely noticeable. Maybe over here I feel it like this because I have wind protection, so when you don't have so much wind in your face, you tend to feel like acceleration is a little bit lower. But both of these bikes tend to accelerate from like 6,000 RPMs and up, much stronger. The throttle jerkiness, yeah, over here noticeably more jerky than the CF. So if I try to keep my speed, especially in this sport mode or full power mode, I tend to feel like this on and off sensation, which is really not very pleasant, and I would prefer not to have it at all, but this bike has it. The brakes feel much more powerful on the CF. Over here, I don't know if my front one became weaker with the time. I need to check it actually, because it feels like it's weaker than when I bought the bike. Like the rear ones might be on par between these two bikes, but the front one is noticeably stronger on CF. And the suspension, over here everything feels more like bumpy, more like bouncy, more plush, and you can sense this suspension is on a lower grade, so it's not as a quality piece of equipment like the CF has. CF has much more premium suspension, is fully adjustable. The sound when you are next to the bikes, these modern bikes, they're really suffocated with the emissions and everything, so both of them are not gonna be some kind of stars in terms of the sound. But the CF has some, I don't know, like sound that some mixing sound, something like that. It's not very inspiring to me. This one is slightly better to me in this area. This is subjective. I think the seat is also from the stock better on the CF. Feels like it has more meat on it. I feel like that CF is more aggressive in some ways, more like a hooligan thing, because electronics are not as intrusive. Like big minus of this bike is that it has this intrusive traction control that really, like, roads in Serbia are slippery. When I go from the traffic light, this bike really stops the power for like half a second, and this is too much. and then like people start even overtaking me, you know, from the get-go. So I don't like this. I mean, if you're a beginner, you should not even ride Transalp, you know, these bigger bikes, more powerful bikes. So why would they do that? And if I want to, you know, decrease this level of intrusion, it's basically not helping at all, because if I put it to the minimum, it's still gonna be intrusive. I put it to off, I need like 30 seconds to go in the menu each time and to switch it off, which is really bothersome. So this is a bigger minus. And on CF, they're really on the opposite side. They're not interrupting you at all. They are existing, but they will allow your wheel to slip, to drift, and also the ABS as well. Also, when I touch the off-road, again, that bike, because it's taller, it has higher quality suspension, and also the brakes, it feels more inspiring. Like it feels like you can do a little bit more things with it. Whereas this one is, you know, it's gonna do the things, but it's gonna do it to some probably extent when you're gonna be riding on some not so big off-road paths. Like if I put the checklist, like how can I conclude this thing? If I put a checklist between these three bikes, you feel like you're getting much bigger value with a CF. It feels even more mature as a bike. Like I said, this brakes, the throttle jerkiness, the overall package, like how it's put together, you tend to feel like this. Also, you have cruise control and you have tubeless wheels. Now, people always are talking and thinking about what's going to happen in a few years, reliability. CF is covering you with 4 to 5 years of warranty, depending on the models. So I think this is great thing. But anyways, like they are much younger on the market, so people are gonna be still cautious about it. So if I just put this thing, like the time during they are on the market here in Europe or America, I think just it's a better value, it's better bike, you know, it's also cheaper. So this is just my opinion so far. This is how I found it, even now after sitting directly on this bike. I still love this thing. I love that it's very agile, it's very capable for lots of things. But like if you're buying the bike right now, I strongly suggest you check all the options on the market. You check Tenere, Aprilia Touareg, you check this thing, Transalp, you check Vogue 800, you check CFMOTO 800, because you have options, you have lots of options nowadays. So guys, thanks for watching and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.